I have to wait for the ding. Okay, and so today in class, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Thursdays, I'm going to have you do some interactive things. One of the things is to practice typing. I got Nitro going, and we can do practice typing activities after I do my little spiel here. And then the other one is looking at playing some games online and stuff. And I want you to get into Clever to be able to do that. So I'm going to talk to you about that. The other thing I want to talk to you about today has to do with our work that's due on Thursday and kind of review that a little bit more with you guys. And the last thing is to do a quick review about pre-writing. All right, there are different parts of the writing process. This quarter, I'm going to be asking you guys to make me a little slideshow book of poetry. And we're going to talk about that later. This week and next week, until I know whether we're going to be online completely or if we're going back to hybrid or what's happening, I should know that next week. If we're back in class, we can do more of our poetry work during class. But if not, we'll just start working on that. And eventually you'll be doing some of that work yourself. But we're going to be looking at figurative language and poetry. And those of you guys who had me last year, which is everybody except for Scott. You know how I like you guys to play with poetry and enjoy playing with it yourself, reading it, and not being afraid that you won't understand it, right? A lot of people don't like poetry because they don't think they're going to understand it. But hopefully we'll do a little bit of that this quarter. And then at the very end, I'll probably have you do some kind of little essay type of writing. They may still have us do some kind of testing in fourth quarter. It's to be determined. But if we do, I want everybody to be able to do that. So with all that being said, I'm going to take just a minute and we're going to look at this week's work. All right. It's due on Friday. If you need help, there's noon meetings. I'll post it in the stream again. Also, you can do individual times with me on Friday. I am open to those, and all you have to do is reach out to me, either message or email. And what we'll do is I'll schedule you a time, but we're going to use this link right here, this link, to meet up individually. That way I don't have to keep sending links to you, okay? My noon meeting is down here on this one right here. This is my noon meeting. Okay, and you can click on that anytime. I'll try to post it every Monday so it doesn't get too far down in the stream. 12 to 1, right? It's lunchtime. Nobody has things to do. Come and see me. I'll try to help you to finish up your work. Our attendance, of course. iReady reading, please don't click into this and say that you've turned it in until you have indeed done 45 minutes. Once you've done 45 minutes, even if you do more, you can go ahead and turn it in. I'll know that about how many people have done what they need to do. Okay, that's all you have to do is go into view assignment and turn it in. Please don't click on assignments and turn them in when they're blank. I've already had people start doing that. It's very irritating, guys. Look, I can't do anything with blank. Okay, I can do stuff. I can give you feedback. And I'm clicking into Dreamer just for a minute because you can see, like, he's gone through and he's been circling antecedents. I can see already that he's started. And my feedback to him will be, look, you did it backwards. Circle the antecedents and underline the pronouns. You did it backwards. Yes. So real quickly, since I'm here looking at his, I'm going to fix some of them for him, okay? So look, guys, you're going to want to make sure that you actually watch the videos. Nobody will get these wrong if you watch the videos. These are exactly like the videos here. So please watch the videos, all right? So look, guys, you're going to circle. He's right. This is one of them, okay? I don't know why it keeps getting bigger and bigger, but... So, hold on a second. Let's see if I can. All right, you're going to circle the triceratops, and cool water is not a pronoun. Okay, look, guys, pronouns. They're words that take the place of nouns, right? And so, that's the game. Sorry. Pronoun antecedents list. Look, look, your pronouns are words like he, she, they. You know, if you need to look them up somewhere, go online and take a look. Look, this, I, me, my, you, not words like cool water or something like that. Those are not your pronouns, okay? And I know next week we're going to go more into this, all right? But look, guys, this is not it. If I can get it to change for me, should be able to edit once it's in there, okay? So look, if it that's not it. Let's see if it'll do it. I can't get it to delete. It'll, there we go. So it should delete there. There we go. So look, what is the pronoun? The pronoun is his. Yes. Right? So think about it. This is the word. Instead of saying triceratops again, you're saying his. Right? And if you really want to impress me, do what I did with Elijah and draw the line. Okay, look. What triceratops? Oh yeah, his the triceratops, right? And notice on these, once again, that you're not underlining big long swaths of stuff because you didn't bother to watch the video. I don't think so. All right. So look, guys, you're gonna circle, you scribble, right? So it's the cool water stream, it's the stream ran its, here's your pronoun. Instead of saying the stream again, they're gonna say its. It's really that simple. Okay. And once again, like you just got them backwards. But notice how this one, the Triceratops did not know that the Tyrannosaur was watching him. Who is him? Okay. Well, him is your Triceratops, right? The Triceratops said, "Oh, somebody's watching me." Make it a little longer there. And it's not the Triceratops. It's not the Tyrannosaur. Is not him, right? The Triceratops is the him. Okay, notice how you're not going to underline actual nouns. You're only going to underline the pronouns. How can you tell? They're little words that take the place. And notice that number 4 actually has 3 pronouns and 2 antecedents. Number 4 and number 6 are really tricky, right? Because, oh, I had to do it again. Sorry. I had to go back. Number 4 and number 6 are tricky because they actually have more than one antecedent. Him, he. How can you tell who they're talking about there? Are they talking about the Tyrannosaur or the Triceratops? So this he is talking about the Tyrannosaur. And you actually could draw a line from he to Tyrannosaur. And guess what? There's another one that who he could beat the Triceratops if he could, that he right here. This is also, sorry, I'm in the wrong place here. And so this he is also the Tyrannosaur. You've got another antecedent here, though. This, he could beat who? The Triceratops, right? If he could surprise him, that him isn't talking about the first dinosaur, it's talking about the second one. So some of these it would help. There's only 2 of them that are like this. It's number 4 and number 6 that are like this, where you've got more than one. So I'm going to let you go back and fix some of these, Dreamer, because I did the, oh, that's not so good. Get rid of everything. So notice how something like that goes wrong. Just hit undo. It'll fix it. Okay, so watch out. We're not talking about killing animals or anything. We're only going to circle nouns like tyrannosaurs and underline the pronouns like they. And most of them, you don't have to draw the lines because there's only one. But on 4 and 6, you're going to actually have to get rid of, you're going to have to actually circle 2 of them. You can see there's Triceratops there and Tyrannosaur. There's 2 different things going on here in this particular sentence. Okay, questions? questions from folks out there? This is Michaela. Anybody have questions you want to unmute? Type in anything you want to ask me about that. It does help to watch the videos, guys. The videos, they do exactly what I just did. All right. And so don't underline big, long swaths of things or circle them. Watch the videos and watch my video again today if you need some help fixing those ones that I did with Dreamers. Okay. And then the other part of this, we're taking a look at looking at different things that will help you to understand words like or phrases like conceived of. So remember, guys, conceived of has to do with thinking. Okay, it doesn't have to do, and actually you could probably underline that whole thing if you wanted to, but really the words that have to do with thinking, right, are thought and idea, right? So you need to make sure that you have underlined thought and idea. Okay, those are two of the words, and the other word that you need to make sure you circle is conceived of. Where are we? Conceived of. That's the word that's the phrase that you're basically looking at. And how do I know that? Because it says it here, circle the phrase conceived of. You guys, if I tell you to circle the word conceived of and you still don't do it here, come on. Part of doing this is following the directions. All right. Please, I beg of you. So helpful context. What are some of the things that you know that they told you? And you're right, Dreamer, that really this idea of ancient Greek engineers, right, thought of new machines. So you could put that part right here. What's one thing that will help you to understand that phrase conceived of, right? So the ancient engineers conceived of new machines. They had ideas, right, of how to make something. And another thing you could put on there has to do with the fact that, you know, they basically, their idea combined the lever, pulley, and wheel and axle into one machine, right? So they combined levers, pulleys, and axles. Oops, I can't spell it. Axles into one machine. So this is such a short thing. You might have to copy one or two of the sentences to give you the idea of what are they talking about here for conceived of. All right. And then the clue words, as I mentioned, are ideas. And what was the other one? The other one was thought. Watch out. Some people think that this conceived of thing has to do with making things. The conceived of has nothing to do with making. Okay, what is the meaning of the word? It's coming up with an idea, right? Ideas to solve problems. You could use that same thing down here. What does conceived of mean? This is the last part of it. It says, what does conceived of mean? I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm too close. The meaning of the phrase conceived of is to come up with an idea on how to solve a problem, something like that. Conceived of means you thought about it in your head. It doesn't mean you made it. And that's what's tricky here. They conceived of something and then they talked about how they actually made it into something. So these parts are tricky. I'm recording this so you can go back and fix it. This is the trickiest part. The rest of it is all about reading about the different shells. And I kind of got into this, like I said, I think I was telling you guys, I've been watching that My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. And it's so funny how this octopus will actually use shells on its little suckers and cover it up to hide itself. And I mean, it's pretty amazing. But after watching that, I was kind of interested in these different shells. So watch the shells, right? And then down here, all you have to do, and you can see he just pulled over the answers, okay? And these aren't too hard. I think most people should be able to figure it out. Watch out on this one. Um, has an appropriate name, right? Why is jackknife an appropriate name for this particular thing? Okay, it has nothing to do with the fact that the bivalves, you don't even have the word jackknife in there. So please don't make choices on this one that does not include the word jackknife. Okay, because wait a minute, these are big, and you're right. Like the jackknife folds into its own case. I can kind of at least looks like that, but why is the jackknife clam an appropriate name? Because it has about the same shape as a closed jackknife. That's what it says. So make sure that you're putting answers there that, it looks like a closed jackknife. It can't be this one, right? It has to be it folds into the its own case, right? Okay. Oh, I forgot what the answers were on that one. Sometimes it gets a little confusing, so I want to make sure I'm not telling you the wrong answer there. I wrote them down. Let's see where I put it. Oh yeah, number 4, right? Sometimes I go back and look because it is a little bit confusing. But so even though the jackknife folds into its own case, the reason why you're looking at appropriate is because the jackknife is a good name for the clam. So I'll give you D. Okay, but these aren't right down here. There's something not quite right about them, right? It doesn't look like an open jackknife, and so watch out for that. And last but not least, please, guys, you have to go back to 4 and tell why it is that the pearl is an accident. And if you're really smart, you'll do some quotations in there, okay? But go back to that section where it talks about the why the pearl is an accident. It's in this part right here, 8, right? It talks about the oyster and how it creates the pearl, and it's a total accident. The pearl is not something that the oyster does to survive. It's a total accident. All right. So make sure you summarize that in a sentence or two. Any questions before I move on? Thanks. And I fixed a couple of things there for you, Dreamer. You should be able to hopefully go back and do a few more things yourself. I appreciate you, though, making the effort to do it, because then I can use yours as an example. I even fixed some of the things for you. If you've done 0 or you're turning in work with 0, I'll be upset. Everybody should be able to jump on and make some kind of attempt here. And I can give you feedback. You can turn it in. If you turn it in, anytime between Friday and Sunday, I can give you feedback before we go on to the next thing. So please make sure that you work on that tonight. If you need help individually, come and see me tomorrow. It's not due till the end of the day tomorrow. All right. Any other questions? Anybody type anything in? Need to say anything? Okay, and if you've already turned it in, I think because Kendra may have done that. I know Elijah, we've been working a little bit. Come see me at lunch today, or make an appointment with me to do individual stuff with you tomorrow. All right, last thing today, I need you to think for just a minute. I'm going to minimize my screen. There's my new screensaver. Oh, I get such a smile when I see him sleeping. So I just want to talk real quickly about pre-writing. So there's different parts of the writing process. We've gone through them a couple of times this year, but I just wanted to make sure that people understand when I start asking you to write some poetry and to come up with some of your own ideas. But not only that, but when you're doing writing for classwork or for even a research paper, coming up with ideas about what exactly it is that you want to write is really important before you just start writing out something. That's why I always grade the pre-writing as part of your projects. So just real quickly, where do you get inspiration, right, in order to, let me see if I can make it bigger. It's not letting me do that. Hold on, I'll just do it with my very smart computer. Yay. Okay, so just real quickly, where can you get inspiration? People over the years have gotten inspiration from all kinds of things, including things you see like magazines, newspapers, media like TV and internet. Maybe you're getting inspired by events that are happening around you, right, that you're watching or following. Your experiences are probably where you get most of your ideas for, especially for things like poetry or like personal narratives, things like that. Films and movies, music can be a really big inspiration. Visual arts like observing or even creating your own art. Your dreams, memories, discussion with other people and brainstorming together can also be a really good way to get more information or more thoughts about ideas. And responding to literature, like after we read this thing about shells, maybe you'd like to write a poem about how amazing it is that these creatures make pearls, for example. Okay. Um, Role playing is when you pretend like, maybe I'm the clam and I'm making a pearl. What would that be like? Right? Different points of view, seeing what it's like to be somewhere and do something. Even doing research, if you like penguins and you find out that, they really do like to dance and sing. No, I'm just kidding. They don't really do that. But, research can help you to get an idea and just run with it and make your writing your own. And of course, just your imagination. You want to go visit the planet Carlisle. They just discovered it. It's been hiding behind Jupiter. Nobody saw it until now, And what would it look like? It has like, green sky and purple trees. Or, your imagination is what people did with their fiction stories last quarter, which were really great. So don't forget that that's part of it. And then the other part is really looking at what ways can you pre-write. And we're going to be doing some of these in class and here on Thursday writing times, okay? Some free writing. You just sit down and you just type something. What are you thinking about today? I'm thinking about how I don't want to be in class. Well, hey, free writing can give you some ideas. Journaling is where you tell what happened to yourself that day. Image streaming, which is really something we're going to practice and talk about as we get into writing, and you have to use imagery in your poetry. We're going to talk about how do you really describe the place you're at using words, right, that really describe. Lists and visualizing, brainstorming together or with other people can be really helpful. Brainstorming is when you make ideas, but you don't judge them. You're like, what about this or this or this or this? And you don't say whether it's good or bad. After you get them all down, then you go back and you evaluate. Webbing, mapping, clustering, getting that organization going, along with graphic organizers, help to organize what order do I want to say things. And of course, you've got topics or word charts like we just did with this whole thing on this week's writing. So I just wanted to do a quick little lesson about what is that pre-writing process. We'll be practicing some of those things again next week. Our Thursday times will be practicing some of those writing parts of writing as we get more into how long are we going to be online. Because when we're in class, it's easier for me to do this and give you feedback right away. But we'll do it here if we need to. So with that being said, last thing is to go to Clever, okay? And today in Clever, I want you to go to the Kia and try that. You'll see that I also put the Nitro typing in there, and we'll try that next week. We'll do this kind of like the intro to the class thing. Can you raise somebody to type? All you have to do is come up with a name. It's fun. We did it last year, and when we're in class, we can race each other. This is Rags to Riches once again, for those of you who had me last year. And what it is, it's finding the antecedents, right, of pronouns. So it says, sometimes a driver suffers from blurred vision. It can often be the result of too much drinking. What is the antecedent of the pronoun it? Oh, it. What are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about this blurred vision. So watch out. Blurred describes vision. And watch out, the hint for some reason is wrong. Like it says, D, it is not D. Well, yes, it is. D is drinking. Let's see. Oh, they changed it. Okay. And then it'll say, it's not C. Wait a minute. What's left? Vision and driving. Oh, okay. It must be vision. If you're correct, you get your $300 and you move up to the next one. Remember, guys, the problem with this is once you get one wrong, it takes you all the way back down. Wah, wah. But you know the answers, right? So sooner or later, you can get to 1,000,000. When you get to 1,000,000, I want you to take a screenshot. And the way that you do that, sorry, I had to close this one. Taking a screenshot is the easiest way to show and paste something. And I want us to practice that. That's why I'm having you do this. You have till Sunday to try it. It's bonus points, right? But it's also a really good practice of antecedent. When you go to the snipping tool, I put it on my bar here, but you can also search for it over here. And the snipping tool or the print screen, right? Print screen shows a lot more, but snipping's great. Then I would just show when I got to 1,000,000, right? Or how far I got. And then I can just right click and copy it, and I can paste it right into a note that you're putting in the stream. So I gave you a place to put this stuff today. It is, just gotta find it. It's in the classwork today. It says writing lessons, right? Pre-writing lesson Kia game. So what you can do when you turn it in, you just go to view assignment, and then you click on it, and you would say, okay, down here in private conversation, you could actually right click and paste your screenshot in there. At least I hope you can. If that doesn't work, you might have to just tell me I got 1,000,000 or something like that. But I'm trying to get it so that we can paste it in. So hopefully, I was hoping we could do it right here, but maybe I didn't do it quite right. Let's see if I got my, where did I put my screenshot? Oh, it's down here. Okay, you can also save it and paste it in as a picture. See if I can copy it. Anyway, I want you to play with that a little bit and see if we can figure out ways for you to show me what you've done easier. Like if I'm in here and I paste it, let's see if it'll work. It's not doing too much right there. But in the stream, you should be able to do it here. If you're having problems, we'll work it out. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to play the game. So if the worst thing you could do is say, I got to 1,000,000 and send it to me. Okay. But I'm trying to get people to be able to take screenshots and put them in there. So I'm still playing with it too. But give it a try. This is a fun game. All right. So any more questions while I'm with you? All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. If you're not in class today, you should try this. It's a 5-point bonus that I'm putting in for anything that you miss. Please give it a try. And see me at noon or see me on Friday if you need help.